Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're going to be taking a look at a brand new light from Warsun. This is the T9PRO. Great LED flashlight, especially for EDC purposes. It's got that very familiar kind of rectangular shape to it that a lot of flashlight companies are gravitating towards, but I know a lot of folks are really digging that design of flashlights, especially in comparison to like the round cylindrical flashlights, because they fit so much more comfortable in your pocket. The rectangle ones here are easier to slide in and out of your pocket, and they are a lot more comfortable. So Warsun was gracious enough to send this guy over so I can go ahead and check it out, review it for you guys, and hopefully answer any questions you might have in case you're interested in picking one up. Now, in case you are interested, I will go ahead and leave a link below in the description box where you can go ahead and pick one up for yourself, but I'll also leave a coupon code that's going to give you 20% off the purchase of the T9PRO through that link. And that's going to run all the way up to February 15th. So that's perfect in case you're looking for Christmas presents. If you have a flashlight nut in the family that you want to purchase something for, this is going to be a great option for that. Or if you just want to pick one up for yourself, either for EDC or to add to your collection, I would recommend that you go ahead and do that by using that link with the 20% discount coupon that I will leave below. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the flashlight itself. We'll open up the box and you have a couple things. Obviously, you have the flashlight. So we'll set that off to the side. You also have an instruction manual, which we'll take a look at in a second. And then a couple of accessories kind of buried deep in the box right there. One of them popped out. And then here's the other one. First things first, this is a USB-C rechargeable flashlight. So you do get a USB-C cable. So this is USB-C to USB-A. So that's cool that they include that. And then you get a short little wrist lanyard here. It is adjustable. This is perfect if you wanted to go ahead and throw it on the light. If you're going to be walking around outside, maybe you can throw this around your wrist. And that way, if by any chance the flashlight were to fall out of your hand, it's not going to fall on the floor because you can go ahead and chin it down and it'll just hang from your wrist. So that is really cool that they include that also. So as I mentioned, this is your instruction manual here. Very interesting manual from Warsun. I always do recommend that you guys check out your manuals, especially for flashlights with multiple outputs like this one here. You do have 4 different modes or 4 different light outputs from the flashlight. So obviously you're going to get a lot of different functionality from it, so it's always good to read the manual. This particular one is interesting. The different languages kind of go across like this. So it's basically, one section there, the top one there being English. So it doesn't give you a lot of information as far as like runtime or outputs or anything like that, but it does give you the information that you need to kind of cycle through the different light outputs and how to get to those. So that's the part that we really want. So I'm going to set this off to the side, but I might be referencing it through the video just to make sure that I'm giving you guys all the information in case you guys want to go ahead and pick one of these for yourself. So let's go ahead and take a look at the light. Here it is. Again, it's got that very familiar kind of rectangular form factor that a lot of flashlights are going to now, but it fits really nice in the hand. Now, at first glance, what really caught my eye was that there's a lot going on in this flashlight all the way around, all the different sides and stuff like that. So starting on what I would call the face of the light here, again, this is the T9PRO, and it does say 3.0 light. And then you have a light bar right here, which is really nice because it does give you light at another angle if you wanted to go ahead and use that one. So as you turn it this way, you have the area where you would have all your different buttons to activate the different light options. And then you have this kind of logo right here. It does say Warsun right there. It's embedded into the body of the flashlight. You have 3 rubberized buttons right there that are going to actuate the different light outputs. And then in between 2 of these buttons, you actually get an LED. So when you're charging it, it'll show you the status. On the back right here, you do have your pocket clip. It's a nice and short pocket clip, but it's rather wide. So if it lets the flashlight run very, very nicely in your pocket. It is what they call that reverse S clip, which means that you can actually put it this way and clip it onto your belt or onto your pants or in a pocket or something like that. But then also if you wanted to use the back part here by attaching it to the brim of a hat, that way if you wanted to go hands-free that way, you can go ahead and do that. Now it is a pretty deep right clip, which is nice. So, if you're carrying this in your pocket, it's going to go very, very deep, so it's not going to be sticking out. So it's going to be more discreet carry. Now Warsun is saying that one of these 2 holes right here, you can actually use to attach your lanyard to it. Now these 2 holes are actually the holes that you're going to use to access the screws if you wanted to remove the pocket clip. So I guess they figured, what better place to put a lanyard than in one of those holes. So you can go ahead and choose one of those and put your lanyard on there. And then on the opposite end right here, you have really nice millwork on the aluminum body here. So you have almost like these finger grooves there, which look really interesting. And then you have your charging port right here. You do have a rubber cap on there that you can remove, and there is your USB-C charging port. On the back, you have the depiction of a magnet, which is letting you know that the back area is magnetic. So if you wanted to go ahead and attach the light onto a metallic surface, you can go ahead and do that. And that way you can go hands-free that way also. And then towards the front here, you have basically your LEDs and the area where your laser is going to be coming out, because this flashlight does have a built-in laser as well. So really, really interesting. You've got a lot of features packed into this really small form factor, which I really do enjoy. All right, so let's go ahead and kind of go through the different outputs and the UI on how to get to the light outputs. So again, I'm going to be referencing the instruction manual here. All right, so if you go ahead and single press that main light switch, which is the button in the middle there, the light is going to come on, and it actually is going to cycle through low, medium, and high. So right there is low, medium, high, and then off. So again, you have a lot of different light options, especially if you have different needs throughout your EDC purposes. You can go ahead and use that light. So low, medium, high, and then it'll go to off. Now, using that same button, if you double click the button either from the off position or if you turn the light on, it'll actually take you to your turbo mode. So turbo on this light is going to be 1500 lumens. So from the off position, double click, it's going to go right into turbo. So again, that's 1500 lumens. That's perfect if you need a quick burst of really bright lights, or if you have the light on. Again, there's the low mode, double click, it'll go right into turbo. And then you can press it again and it'll turn off. So very versatile, very easy to get to using that same exact button. And one last feature is if you go ahead and long press that button, it'll actually go into your strobe light. So long press, strobe warning, and there it is. There is your strobe light. So if you need to either signal somebody or disorient somebody, you can have the ability to do that via the strobe function on the T9 Pro here. All right, so then you press the button and it turns off. All right, now we're going to be looking at the side light right here. So again, using the button in the back that looks like the little sun. If you go ahead and single press that, it's going to come on. And it, again, just like the front light, you can cycle through low, medium, and high outputs on that. So if I turn it on, there's low, there's medium, and there's high, and then back to off. So the cool thing is that you get the whole row of LEDs, and both of these lights are going to be in the kind of brighter white light. So again, that's the temperature that you're getting out of either one of those. So the light on the front or the light on the side is going to be that brighter white light. So again, pressing it, we'll turn it on, low, medium, and high, and then one more time to off. Now, using that same button, if you were to double click it, what's going to happen is you're going to get a flashing red light. So either from the off position, double click, and there it is, red light flashing. So again, this is perfect to attract attention. So if you maybe wanted to put this on the side of your car because you broke down and you want to make sure that you're being seen, you have that flashing white light. And if you press it again, it'll turn off. Or if you go ahead and turn it on to the white light and then press it twice, it'll actually go into that red strobe light as well. So you have the ability to access that red strobe light either from the off position, or if you're using the side light and in white, and then you want to go right into that red flashing light. Now, in the front right here, the button that's a circle, that's going to be your UV light. So again, that is the third lighting option. So now you have the white lights coming from the front, the white and or red lights coming from the side, and now if you single press that, it's going to turn on the UV mode. So again, it's that top smaller LED right there. So this is going to be your UV, and I know it's not very easy to see it here, but you guys can see that the UV light is on, and then basically if you press it again, it will turn off. And now with that same button, if you go ahead and long press it, you'll actually get your laser, and there is the red laser Not sure if you guys are able to see it. Let me put my hand right here so you guys can see it a little bit better. So you do get a red laser as well. So that is going to be your fourth light option. And if you guys can see, you have that blue LED kind of lit up right there. That's letting you know that the battery is still good or still within charge, which is nice. And then you can go ahead and press and that will turn off. So again, you have 4 different lighting options here in the T9 Pro. You have the white light coming out the front, low, medium, high. You have the white light, and also it's going to be your turbo, and then the white light, which is also going to be your strobe. Then you have your side light, which is going to be low, medium, and high in white, and then also the side light with the red flashing. That's your second light output. Then you have your UV light, that's your third light output, and then you have your red laser, which is your fourth light output. So again, a lot of really useful and awesome features coming from the T9 Pro here. I was pretty excited to get this in hand and kind of check it out. It's super, super light thanks to that aluminum body. But again, you have so many different options. Also with that magnetic tail cap there that you can go ahead and secure to a metal surface, and it'll give you that light. So the cool thing is that by adding the light on the side right here, if you were to have to, set this up to a magnetic surface, if you only have the light on the front, then it's not going to shine down on what you're going to be looking at. So with that light on the side, it will, which will make it a lot more comfortable to be able to use, especially in tighter areas and stuff like that, where you either have to have the light coming out one side or the other. You do have both options. So as I mentioned, if you guys are interested in picking one of these up for yourself, go ahead and use that link below. Use that discount code to get yourself that 20% discount. Again, it runs all the way up to February 15th. So it's going to give you the T9 Pro at a really, really awesome price. So especially if you're looking for some awesome Christmas gifts, if you know some folks that love flashlights, love EDC stuff, you cannot go wrong with getting them one of these. Or again, if you wanted to get it for yourself, I would recommend that you do that too. So there it is. That was a look at the T9 Pro flashlight from Warsun. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.